Fancy Ray McCloney wants to be your next governor. He'd be Minnesota's first governor named Fancy. He'd be Minnesota's first governor named Ray. He's also the fourth in our series of one-on-one interviews with the minor party gubernatorial candidates. From the People's Champion Party, Fancy Ray McCloney. I want to thank you for coming down.
The pleasure is absolutely all mine. I want to thank KTCA Channel 2 for giving the minor party candidates so much exposure and letting our voices be heard. I would be the first candidate that's going to stick up for the little guy out there, the first candidate that's outside the mainstream of politics, the first candidate that's here for you, who's not got a political background, who doesn't have any kind of big money behind him, who's here for the little guy. If you don't like Humphrey, vote for Fancy Ray. If you don't like Coleman, vote for Fancy Ray. I am your candidate for governor, and I want to represent you, and I'm the best man on the ticket, and I hope you let me resent you. You know, this whole election is nothing but a big joke, so I say hire me a professional comedian. Because if I don't get elected, it's going to be an amateur.
Now, that was a brief introduction. I want to ask you, People's Party, Champion Party, where did that come from?
The People's Champion, because I'm a champion of the people. The little guy, the black, the white, the red, the brown, the yellow.
But you made that up yourself?
I didn't make it up. It came to me. It was a divine inspiration. Something told me the little man doesn't have any representation in this election. They're talking about education. They're talking about cutting taxes. I want to talk about poverty. I want to talk about the little man. The little kids are hungry in the streets. Those are the ones that I'm here to represent and talk for. I'm giving a voice to the voices, the little brown kids and yellow kids and black kids and red kids, the people that the system's forgotten about. Those are the ones that I want to represent, and those are the parents I want to talk to, and also people out there who are middle class, who believe in ideals that we start at the bottom. Right. I'm the opposite of trickle down. I want to trickle up.
All right, I can tell you're in television. You know how to continue running, so we can't cut out of you in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. See, most candidates dance around the issues. Fancy Ray dances all the time.
All right, now I want to ask you about that. You do a cable show. You're a comedian.
I'm a cable show. I'm a pitch man. I'm a talk show host. And I'm good looking, and I'm going to be the next governor of Minnesota.
People ask, why, being so good looking, why would you want to run for governor?
Well, there was a need. Well, see, the stuff that's going on, like I said, in politics is a big joke. Number one, what's going on in Washington, D.C. is a big joke. The best the two parties could do was Humphrey and Coleman. I saw there's a void. There's no one talking for the little people out there, the little black kids and brown kids. I got a son, his name is Trayvon. He's watching TV. Hi, Trayvon. Daddy loves you. I'm talking for the kids out there that they can look at the election and say, look, one of us is in the race. People who live in check to check and say, look, one of us is in the race. People whose taxes are too high can look and say, look, one of us is in the race.
But
there's someone there to represent us.
Two you're in the race. Your running mate is, and people don't know this.
Oh, my mother, Tony J.
Why did you choose your mother? And I'm sure you love your mother, and I'm sure she's a wonderful person. I'm sure she's watching.
Because you're a person of color, and what we do is a family values. We want to bring it together. We're bringing families together. We'll put hope and optimism out there in the community. We're going to let it vibrate. If you put Fancy Ray on this state of Minnesota, going into the next millennium, let's grow with Fancy Ray. Fancy Ray wants to represent you. If you don't like Coleman, vote for Fancy Ray. If you don't like Humphrey, vote for Fancy Ray. I'm the best candidate out there. I am your candidate. I'm here not for me. I'm here for the people. The people's champion, running with my mother.
Let's some issues, because I do want to give you some time to get these things out. Your position on your foreign policy?
Foreign policy.
Farm
policy. We got to protect the farmer, small-time farmer. Of course, farmers becoming big business right now, and we got to make sure that the farmer has every protection.
All right, and I got to go through these quickly. Feedlots.
Feedlots. Well, we got to make sure that we have a safety for the feedlots, that all the pollution's going in the water. We got to make sure the water's safe, and at the same time, leave it so that the small-time farmer can compete with the big guys.
All right, stadium issue?
Stadium issue. Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to give no money to the billionaire Carl Pohlad in the Minnesota Twins. My position on the stadium is this. That's a big joke. We're not going to give no money to them. Let's give money to people hungry in the streets. Let's give money to affordable housing. People out there can't got places to stay.
And on crime, it's not the #1 issue this year, apparently, on the all the polls. But what would you do with crime in Minnesota?
Crime in Minnesota. Well, number one, the problem with crime is that people got to have hope and optimism and a chance to grow. No one wants to go into a life of crime. That's when you have no choices and no opportunities that people turn to a life of crime. So Fancy Ray wants mentors, wants role models, and we got to get out there and reach these young people, because the young people is what this campaign is all about. The people's champion, a champion of the people. I'm here for you. Fancy Ray McCloney, the people's champion.
Okay, a speech coming here. Education, want to see more or fewer charter schools?
I would say more charter schools. We can need more. Everything that's for education is more fantastic. I think that's what we want to talk is for the little people understand. We need to cut classroom sizes down. We need to get role models, mentors. We got to get parents involved in the children's education. We got to get kids in school, and we got to get the parents involved.
And with the tax surplus, quickly?
Oh, give it back to the taxpayer. If Fancy Ray is governor, you'll get your money back. That's a fact.
All right, have you campaigned on the range at all, other parts of Minnesota?
Seriously? I'm campaigning everywhere. I'm going a little bit of everything. It's just getting started right now. We've been going really hard, Lou. It's been thing of raising money. And the folks out there want to get some information, they can contact Channel 2 and get the Fancy Ray campaign. We're going everywhere because what happened in the Iron Range, we want to do here in the inner city. We want to lift folks up. We want to give you an opportunity to succeed. And with Fancy Ray, the state of Minnesota can succeed. I want to represent you, Minnesota, Fancy Ray McCloney, the people's champion.
You heard the man.
Thank you, Lou Harvin.
Thank you so much.